Well, you know the famous Franken story about George Harrison.
Yeah, that's the big
What
one.
was that story?
George Harrison was playing piano, right?
On 17 in the...
Wow.
And so everybody was just coming out of their office to listen to George Harrison play piano. And then Franken knew it was George Harrison, but Franken came out of his room and just yelled, "People are trying to work, keep it down!"
That's
and he
genius.
stopped.
And George Harrison stopped, and that was the end of it.
Oh.
And it's the best.
Oh.
It's a great joke, but it's such a bummer.
Oh my God, that's good. Fucking A! We're trying to put together a show.
George.
Yeah, he's writing All Things Must Pass.
And you're like, get out of here.
I think he slammed the door.
Yeah, he slammed the door and
Oh,
said,
that's
that's it.
hysterical.
That's so good. Franken's so annoying, but he's so hysterical, right?
Yeah,
he knows how to do that.
That is the crystallization of a perfect Franken.
I have a memory, which I love to tell people, that stars you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think, is this Harrison?
yes, word gets out that George Harrison's in the building and he's down in Lorne's office. And I don't think you can be a bigger Beatle fan than myself. I know everything about them. I know the instruments. I know the chord changes, the whole thing.
You know the names of the songs?
It's yes. I know some of the names of the members. Get hazy on the bass player, but we're there and we're thinking, are we going to see him? Are we going to see him? And then finally George comes down the hallway and we're all in the writer's room. And he comes in and I remembered he had been out partying with Lorne and he was a little tipsy. And
Lorne had gone out to dinner with him.
Yes.
So, and traditionally on a Tuesday night, now this is Tuesday night. The show gets written on Tuesday night.
And we stay up all night.
We stay up all night, but it really, starting, 10 p.m. or something, things are actually starting to be written. and so, first of all, George Harrison shows up at around 8, and they go to dinner.
Yes.
And they don't come back until 10:30. And Harrison's really drunk.
Yeah, he's tied one on, and this is what I remember very clearly. He walks in, we all stand up. He comes into those wide, it's double doors into the
writer's room.
Writer's room.
Writer's area.
Writer's area. And he's standing there, and he's sort of weaving from side to side, as one does when one's had a lot to drink. And he said, "I'm sorry, I'm pissed as a newt." I'll never forget that. He went, "Sorry, I'm pissed as a newt." And then he said, "What you're staring at?" And we were all staring at him. And then he looks over in the corner and he sees a piano. And he goes over and he sits down at the piano and he starts to play the piano. So a Beatle is in a relatively small room with us, playing the piano.
Making music.
A Beatle is making music.
Yeah.
And all of us are transfixed. And I think he plays for about 20 seconds.
No.
Less. Maybe.
More.
Okay, more. All right, whatever. I'm being controlled. He plays more, but he plays for a while. And then you come out of your office and you said, "Quiet!"
Okay.
And then he gets startled and he gets up and scuttles away like a hobbit that saw an ogre. He's like, gets up and scuttles away and you go back in your office. Did that or did that not happen?
A version of that. This is what happened, actually. First of all, he played for a lot longer than you remember. He played for a long time.
Yeah, not many people when a Beatle is playing go, "Hey, let's pick it up.
No. Well, the point is, we have a writing staff. We have a show that gets written now, and, it's 11, and he's playing, and quite a while.
Who the fuck cares?
Okay.
What is it? So that, today, this week, Rue McClanahan is on the show. Well, who cares? The show could have sucked that week. Who cares? We could have sat there for 6 hours and listened to George Harrison play and then just turned in, it could have been a whole show of one fart doctor after another with Rue McClanahan.
I didn't think of that, but this is prior to the existence of fart doctors.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so I had a role that year, which was, I think I was some producer.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
I was responsible.
You were being responsible.
Yeah. And no one is going to leave that room and work as long as George Harrison is playing the piano.
You have no one on your side in this room.
I know.
And I'll tell you something else. I think also that you had been working on the show since 75, and George Harrison had been around the show a lot. So you had spent a lot of time with George Harrison, whereas this was my
I
only...
hadn't spent a lot of time with George Harrison. I'd met him a couple times.
I thought you guys used to go antiquing.
No, we used to go to listen to light jazz in a gazebo.
What?
But here's the thing. I didn't say quiet. I went to Phil Hartman, and I said... And my office was very near the piano.
Yes, your office was the closest
10
office,
feet
closest office to the conference room and the piano. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll verify that.
Yeah. So I say to Phil, watch this. And I go into my office, so I don't see Harrison's reaction, but I'm told later what it was. I slammed the door
That's it, yeah.
as hard as I can, and I knew that...
It sounded like an explosion, and
Yes.
he
jumped. Yes, and I'm told it is 2 or 3 feet above the piano bench and then back to the piano bench.
He jumped up, back to the piano bench. He's been drinking, so he's startled, afraid, and he gets up and runs away, and I don't think ever returned to America. I haven't looked into it, but I don't think he ever returned to America.
And I do get shit from few people who were there.
But I bear you no ill will.
Okay.
But can I ask a question? Because you've told this story before. You sort of made it seem like it was a joke, but were you really telling him to be quiet? Now I'm confused.
I think he was doing a bit of a joke. I think you were doing a bit. But I think you were also impatient.
I wanted us to have a successful TV show.
At any cost.
That was kind of my goal.
Right.
Okay.
And he'd been there a while playing. I mean, he had been, and also he was very drunk. And it wasn't, I'm not a music critic, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was his best work.
Yeah. It was wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Wheels on the bus go round and round. All right, George. We could put a harmony in here with wheels on the bus. Yeah.
And the Beatles gone, and guess what happens? People get to work,
Right.
And we write a good show.
I don't remember if it was a good show.
I don't either.
It may have been a slightly passable show.